Hey veterans, back here, still doing my series of videos on the schedular requirements for TDIU and some errors that VA may make in your case if you are pursuing these types of benefits. Now, if you recall, to qualify for VA TDIU benefits, unemployability benefits, you must have one disability rated at 60% or greater, or a combined rating of 70% or more, with one of those at 40% or more by itself. Now, that one disability by itself, that gets a little bit tricky, and that's what I'm here talking to you about in this video and the others along the same lines. There's 5 scenarios where VA actually must combine ratings together and consider multiple disabilities as one disability for that 60% test or that 40% test. We've already talked about when disabilities are from a common disease or from one disease, like Parkinson's with many different symptoms that are rated individually. We've also talked about when you have ratings on extremities, your arms, your legs, and how those can be combined together. And now what I want to talk to you about is when you have multiple rated disabilities from one accident in service. And if you have multiple disabilities originating from the same single accident, then all of those are considered as one for TDIU purposes for that 60% or 40% test. So let me give you an example. Let's say there was a service member who was involved in a horrific vehicle accident, and as a result of that was rated at 50% for PTSD, and also in that same accident the vehicle actually caught fire and that service member sustained permanent burn injuries to his or her body. So if he had a 50% PTSD rating and a 10% burn rating, and those are the only ratings he would have, then VA may just look at that and say, well, you don't meet the 60% test there or the 70-40 test because again, you've got one at 50, you've got one at 10. You don't have a single one at 60. You don't have a combined 70 with one at 40. But if VA were to deny you on that basis, you should appeal that, and here's why. That 50% and 10% would combine together to be 60%. And that 60% comes from one single accident. Yes, they're totally distinct disabilities. One is physical in nature, one is psychiatric in nature, but because they arose from the same single vehicular accident, then VA, per its own regulations, must treat those as one disability. And if VA says you don't meet the scheduler requirements and you have that type of situation, then you need to appeal that, and I think you will in fact win that case. So again, look at the nature of those disabilities and where they arose from. If it was one particular event, then again, they should be counted as one thing. If you have any questions on that, reach out to us. You can find us on our website, winyourvetclaim.com. You can get a free consultation there. You can find other articles on this topic, other TDIU topics, other disability compensation topics in general. And again, check out our other videos. If you're pursuing VA TDIU benefits, I'm going to talk about some other scenarios that may apply as well to you, to where those ratings should be combined and considered as one disability. So check those out here, coming out soon. Thanks, and have a good one.